Hi everyone. In this video, I wanted to go over using the GoalSeek feature to perform a what-if analysis. So many times in Excel, you want to look at changing values in certain cells to see how those changes affect the outcome of the formulas in your worksheet. So this is all part of the what-if analysis that is one of the great tools in Excel. So I'm going to use the Project 3G file for this example. So here you can see I'm on the projected decrease worksheet. So if you are following along in Project 3G, I'm going to go over question 15 and 16. So I'm on the projected decrease worksheet, and in cell C5 I have already calculated the percent of total. And remember, the percent of total is taking one item and then dividing it by the total. So here in cell C5, the city manager's percent of total is 17%. So 740,000 is 17% of the total by quarter, which is the 4 million. Okay, so you're going to figure that out and then use that fill handle. Remember to, whoops, I clicked inside of the formula, so now it thinks I want to edit it. I'll just click on the little check mark to let it know that I'm done. Don't forget to use the fill handle to copy down your cells. If I just delete these, I'll just show you real quick. Remember, the fill handle is that little black plus, and if you hold down on your mouse button and copy it, drag it down, it will fill in those formulas for you. I had already given this the formatting that it's asking for in question 15. So when I copied it down, the other cells kept the formula, or the formatting as well. Okay, so now let's go on to question number 16, where we're going to use the GoalSeek feature. So first it says to copy cell B5 and then use the paste special to paste the values and numbers formatting to cell B13. So I'm going to go ahead and click on B5. Notice that I'm getting this information from my expenses sheet, but in this case I don't want to copy the formula. I just want to copy just this number and the formatting. So I'll choose click on copy, and then I'm coming down to cell B13, and in the paste area I want to choose this values and number formatting. So I'll go ahead and click on that, and then notice that B13 is our active cell right now, and if I look up in the formula bar, I just copied just the number. I didn't copy the formula that was existing here. I'm just pulling down the number. Okay, now let's go over to cell C13. I'm going to go ahead and press the escape key on my keyboard to get the little marquee from going around that, indicating that I was going to copy. Okay, so now it says copy and paste cell C5 to C13. It's not telling us to copy just the values and formatting. So in this case, let's go up to C5. This one definitely has a formula. This is actually the one that I want to change the formula, and I'm going to have an outcome here in B13. So on this particular part of the question, we want to do just a regular copy and paste. So I'll click on copy up here. I'll come down to cell C13, and then I'll just click on paste. I'm not using the paste, just the values and numbering, which is part of the paste special. Okay, so again, I'm going to press escape to get rid of that little marquee that's going around. I now have cell C13 as my active cell, and looking up in the formula bar, I can see that I did indeed copy the formula. So now we have this set to do our what if analysis. So let's go over to our data tab on our ribbon, and I can see over here on the right hand side is the what if analysis button, and if I go ahead and click on that, I can choose GoalSeek from that menu. So basically the question is saying, was cell C13 selected, which I do have it selected here. If you didn't, you could just make that selection. Just click inside of here and make that selection. So we want to use GoalSeek to determine the goal amount of the city manager expenses in B13. which is this. So we're going to be changing B13 if the value in it's hard to say these, in C13 is set to 15%. So if I'm going to set C13 to, and I'm going to type in 15, and I'll go ahead and put in the percent sign as well, I need to change B13. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. So basically, again, this is saying I have a formula in C13, so that's the key. C13 is where I do have a formula. So I'm telling it to recalculate. Instead of it being 15%, I want the result of the formula to be 15%. If that's the case, what would B13 have to change to? Okay, so right now we can see B13 is 740,222, and that's 17% of the total. If we go ahead and click on OK here, you can see that Excel, by using the GoalSeek, changed the current value of C13 to 15%, and in doing so, it figured out that in order to make this formula work, this amount would have to be the 658,798. So if we go ahead and click on OK again, it keeps that information. If we clicked on cancel, then we could have gone back to the prior number. So it's, completely up to you. In this particular exercise, they do want us to go ahead and keep it, so just go ahead and click on OK there. So again, when you're using GoalSeek, you do have to have one formula. You're changing the result of that formula, so that's where Excel is doing the calculation. So it went up and it figured out using that formula, if I were to take 15% of the 4,375,000, what would what would this number need to be? So kind of did a reverse mathematical operation there, if you will. So I hope that that is helpful. Again, you're going over here to what if analysis. You're saying I'm going to set cell C13, and that's where it is telling you that in the directions. I'm changing it to 15% by changing the B13. Okay, and then you click on OK, and it makes the calculation for you. And again, if you want to keep that calculation in your worksheet, you would click on OK. Otherwise, you could click on cancel, and it would revert back to the initial information that you had there. Okay, so I hope that that is helpful. In your book in Chapter 3 under Objective 4, it does talk about using GoalSeek, so you can also use that as a reference as well. Okay. So again, hope this was helpful. Take care.